Sorry about that break in transmission. What the guys would have done now is they would have reset the race, everyone back as a custom grid, meaning we could slot the guys into exactly where they were. The benefit, unfortunately, is that everyone in the top 10 now may have had worn tires from 42. They all now have brand new tires. We'll see what the guys select. I hope everyone selects the tire they would have started on, which would only be Burries on the medium, I think. But yeah, let's see. All brand new tires now. We've got the lobby straight exactly where they were, everyone in the same positions. We're just waiting for this to load. It looks like it seems to be taking a while. Let's hope it's not one of those Codemasters nights.
Looks like we're loading in now.
Right. There we go. Still dry weather. No surprises there. The guys are probably right now just doing their final selections before we start. Hopefully everyone remembers to load a car setup. Nick, have you ever done a race with the wrong setup because you forgot to select it?
I wouldn't like to say I haven't, but I have done it. I have done this more than one occasion.
We've all done it.
Yeah, we've all done some funny things. You know, forgotten setups, put on the wrong tire. So actually 2 weeks ago on a race, it was wet weather, and I asked Jeff to please put me onto Inters, which apparently wasn't the right tire for the time, but that was what I chose, and it reverted me to hards and ruined my race.
Was that Canada or something?
I think it was France, if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Yes, I took the race lead from you because you won the hards. I was very grateful for it.
Well, there we go. Is this first red light we've got here? Have we got a formation lap start?
We'll have a formation lap again.
Lights, I don't know where you go when Bob's already on the grass.
The Mercedes lawnmower is going at it again.
Must be healthy. Oh, there we go.
So let's see. The guys will warm up their tires on the formation lap. Try and keep it clean. Try and keep it slow. Just warm up their tires and make it through to the grid. Yeah, guys, what do you kind of run during your formation lap? Just trying to heat up the tires, but not too much to put any more wear on it.
Yeah, well, for me, what I kind of do, I don't know if it works because I'm definitely not showing the results in the race. But what I do is first sector or so don't try to do too much, and then maybe towards depends on the track, second and third sector, then only start warming up. And that kind of gets you to that kind of same thing.
I see Jaco Nachel's left the session. I hope he also rejoins us.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think maybe having connectivity issues as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the medium tire. It's going to be and it's a new medium tire for Jaco, so it would be great if he did join.
But
looking at the tire choices, Jaco's back. It looks like Red Fury snuck in with the medium choice as well. Otherwise, looks like pretty much everyone else exactly on the strategy they wanted to do. Did we say Jaco back in the session?
Back in the session. Looks like Jaco's back in.
There we go. Henry says he got kicked. Henry, I hope he is back in now. We don't want to lose anyone from this race. About to get very exciting.
So I think
like
that's
a bit of a gap between.
Yeah, Bob leading us into the grid spots. Guys have obviously.
And the rest have hung back.
So it's a very fine line, guys, I find, between warming up your tires and destroying them as well on your out lap or your formation lap. I've noticed if I try and warm them up too hard or too quickly, I actually put 2 or 3%, maybe a bit more, onto my tire wear, which is not ideal, especially on softs, which go very quickly on a track like this.
And that's almost a lap shift.
Correct.
Further, so.
I think that's the last car.
We will carry on as we were earlier. Let me take us through this. There we go. I can hear engines revving. That's normally good news.
That's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And as they go out, there it is. Race started. Looks like Josh got off pretty nicely. I did see Eugene as well. He's getting close, but not enough to challenge. Not a long run to the line. They go through first.
Oh, Red Bull. The Eugene is taking some big
Eugene
damage.
is out of the race.
That's the safety car. I see the horses run into the back of Paris as well.
Did Manu get any damage there, or is he still just at the back?
I see there's quite a bit of damage from the track there. I know a lot of that is from Eugene, but I see a few end plates missing from a few cars.
Let's just see if we...
Yeah, it looked like the first, second, third, fourth got through. I don't know if Eugene just lost the rear hard traction zone when tires are cold and full fuel. But just the car does react differently.
Well, there we have 4 drivers that have 5-second penalties for collision. So
Sure.
that would be Paris, Red Fury, Torment, and Titus. It seems that Titus got off worse than everyone else, with him sitting in 13th.
I think that's roughly where
I know he
Titus
was at the back, but maybe there was some other collision.
Sean, maybe show us position change. Let's see if anything changed in that. Yep, it did. Obviously,
Yeah,
Grim and
no
Bob,
change
they are
there.
up. Bob did get past Burries. Red Fury, Torment. They
So
are
let's
all
see,
up.
we've got a couple of cars pitting here as well, guys.
Couple
We've got Red
cars jumping the
Fury
pits.
into
Red
pits.
Fury,
We've got
obviously.
Torment and Red Fury into the pits. Obviously got some damage. Not ideal on the first stages of the race. Only on lap 3 here at the moment. And that's only half of it's been done not behind a safety car.
Let's see what they decide to jump onto. Okay, Torment decides to put mediums on. He's also serving his penalty.
Yeah, all looks like all wing changes. So these guys did have.
Let's just have a look at those tire changes they're on. Red Fury, Torment.
Yeah, the game is showing us. There we go.
There we go. It's fixed itself. There we go.
So this is where we are. Josh, Grim, Bob, Burries, Avila, Gerrit with Killer Bean up from, I think, 11th to 7th. That's nice. Yaku also up to 8th. Warlock up to 9th. Manu in 10th. And the guys who lost out, Red Fury and Torment. And Titus, he wasn't very far up, but anyway, he's further back down. Also, I'm not
Yeah,
quite
so
sure.
the big winners there, Warlock and Avilach. Warlock making up 5 and Avilach making up 4. That's a great start for those guys. Obviously making up places with guys pitting and colliding. But, and yeah, Red Fury and Torment down by 5. And obviously Eugene is our first DNF. Unfortunately, Eugene, we're not quite sure what happened. Maybe if you're around still, jump on the stream and maybe drop something in the comments and let us know what happened, bud.
Yeah, that's not after a couple of days of practicing and getting ready for a race. That's never nice pill to swallow.
Yeah, we know Eugene's got the pace to challenge up front, so I'm sure he's not going to be a happy camper right now.
Maybe Trav, race engineer, I think for Red Bull, maybe he can give us some insight. But since a few guys got damaged, maybe he got knocked in the rear and then just couldn't get the traction going and found himself to the wall. I think everyone's caught up now to the pack, so I suspect safety car will be in this lap. I think, Nick, you're honest to take us at the restart. Sure, pretty soon they'll tell us the safety car is in. Let's wait for that.
Absolutely. We don't have our nice 2021 red paint on our Mercedes up front. But with maybe, hopefully, the next edition, we will see an Aston Martin leading the pack in a safety
We can
car.
only hope so.
Yeah, very, very nice safety car, that. This, by the way, is helping the guys on the softs. They were brand new since we had to restart the lobby, plus now 3 laps in, and they've barely done anything on those tires. There we go, safety car in.
So, after the restart, when the safety car goes in, we'll have Josh leading Grimjaw and Bob and Barris, Avilach, GJ Buerta, Killer Bean, Yakunachel, Warlock, Manu Dietrich, Red Fury, Torment, and Titus. 13 drivers left as Josh starts to warm up his tires, and I'm sure he'll put his foot down. He's going to take it all the way to the line.
That's it.
So there we go. He's off. He's got a nice jump on Grimjaw, who comes after him. Nice, closing the gap there is Bob, trying to get nice and close there to Grimjaw. Nice, it looks like quite a clean restart at the moment. I see the Red Bull challenging a Williams, getting quite tight up to turn 3 as we climb the hill. Let's see who's got the edge here. Josh leads the pack away. He's going to try and get a bit of a lead going. But Grimjaw right at the back of that Alfa Romeo at the moment. And Bob is also sticking his head in the action. He's not going to let them get too far at the moment either. So the top 3 very close. Top 4 all battling it out as we start making our way down towards the end of the lap 4.
Good commentating, keeping it exciting. I think further down, it looks like up front, Grim is still looking.
Oh,
Grim goes past Josh.
yeah, Josh had a bit of a moment there. I'm on board with Bob. So I could see in front, Josh had a bit of a moment there out of the second last corner. But he's not giving up.
Yeah, there we go. These two guys have a lot of pace. They have enough pace to normally follow each other through the whole race. But it's Grim saw half a gap and he took it. And there's still a long race to come. 31 laps remain. Just further down, it looks like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, they're all within a second of each other. Then there's a bit of a gap to Gerard Buerta, almost a second now. And then the other guys all pretty close and tight all the way to the end. DRS, we should have lap 6, I think, to my calculations.
Yeah.
So if it stays the way it does, these gaps between the drivers, we're definitely going to see some action pretty shortly. Yeah, let me just have a look at the penalties that are still up there. My assumption is the 5 seconds. Yes, that is. It's Yaku and Barry's. At their next pit stop, they will just be held back 5 seconds, so they'll have to factor that into their race time. They obviously felt it's better to hang on to those and get on with the race and keep the track position.
Apologies, guys, I lost you there for a little bit. My remote died on me. So I want to in a charger now. So apologies if you were speaking to me and I wasn't around. But I am back.
There we go. Welcome back, Nick.
So I see Josh is keeping it quite tight there with Grimjaw out front. Looking like a little bit of a battle that might ensue at the moment. What is the... only 6 tenths in it at the moment, 6-7 tenths in it at the moment. I'm sure Josh will go for a lunge. As soon as he's got that DRS open, I'm sure he will start making his way and start challenging for the lead. Bob is starting to fall back a little bit. As Avilach is also looking very racy at the moment, trying to get into the top 4. Keeping Barry's very honest at the moment there.
We're on board with Avilach. That is about the closest battle, I think, except for Yaku behind Killerbean and Mano behind him and Red Fury behind him. We'll watch that battle just now. That is for 7th. Right now the battle for 4th. As Barry's gets it wrong, Avilach, he gets DRS, but I think because he was avoiding the accident, he didn't get the perfect drive out of there. Almost lost a bit of time, really.
Yeah, look, Avilach on the quicker tyre compound at the moment, so he's going to have a lot quicker traction coming out. So Barry just needs to try and keep his cool. It looked like he ran wide a little bit there, but nice racing. I think Barry's tried to give the space out wide. Avilach saw it coming a little bit and avoided some contact potentially. Let's have a look. So quite a nice midfield battle going on. Just, in general, really, from GJ Buerta all the way down to Manu. Torment following relatively closely behind, but from 6th to 9th, we've actually got a very good battle as Red Fury has a little look at Yaku on the main straight.
Yeah, he'll have DRS now. So would Yaku, so would Killer Bean.
It's quite a train we've got going in the midfield here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about who gets traction out there. Yaku seems to struggle a bit, but
Oh, good run out of there from Yaku.
yeah.
So Killer Bean is going to have to try and close out that. GJ Buerta in and amongst us. Looks like he might be pulling away a little bit from the pack. Oh,
Yeah, Harrod does have the soft, so he's going to have to make those work for him. Otherwise, in a few laps' time, these guys are just going to take advantage of that with the mediums that can go much longer into this race.
so not a bad battle going up front at the moment, guys. Josh challenging Grimjaw for the lead as they go wheel to wheel. Up the hill they go. And Josh gets a great run on Grimjaw. Back into the lead he goes. With a purple sector to boot. So, nice Josh back into the lead. Grimjaw following very closely behind still.
Yeah, the battle I was watching behind them was Burries to Bob. That got within a tenth of a second as well. So a lot of action on lap 9.
Sure, a lot of chopping and changing between the top 5 there. Great racing.
Very great, very close.
But, Burries, we said earlier, he's on the mediums, the better tire of the top 4 or 5 guys, and he is sticking
He's
along.
sticking it in there, eh? Very, very good racing there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
Burries
see
is
there,
showing.
that's the view from Abilach. You can see in front of him Burries, in front of him Bob. So the battle for third, which is the last podium step at the moment, is quite tight as well. Up front, Josh has made more than a second, so he's out of DRS. Seems he's got good race pace.
Burries looks like he's getting quite a run on Barber for third place, guys, if you want to go on board. Barry's going for it here. Up into the podium positions. It looks like if he can make it stick, which he does, uses the corner, entitled to the corner on the right. Very nice racing. Well played, Bob. Well played, Barry's. Very tight but fair.
Yeah, there we go. That is a very nice battle to watch. Abilach just behind Bob. Abilach is, I think, also going to try put Bob under pressure. We'll watch that battle play out. Let me just go a bit further back. That battle we spoke about earlier. It's Killerbean for 7th. Behind him, Yakunachel. Behind him, Red Fury. Behind that, Manu. Behind that, Torment. So a few guys in this battle. That might show us some action pretty shortly. We'll keep watching that.
Yeah, midfield's looking very racy tonight. It could be anybody's race tonight, guys. I think Josh and Grimjaw are pulling away, but other than the kind of top 2, it's a very close race. Yakunako goes a bit wide there, opens up for Red Fury, looking at the inside. Makes it stick.
Yeah, and Manu as well is going to have a go around the outside with the help of DRS, and he also gets past Yaku. 2 positions in 2 corners. Unlucky for Yaku.
So maybe Yaku's trying to push those soft tires. I'm just going to check some stops here for you guys as well. You can see who has stopped and who hasn't. So the only guys who have stopped are Red Fury in 8th, Torment runs in 11th, and Titus and Warlock. Those are the only guys to have pitted at the moment. So we are coming up to, I think, around the pit stages for the soft runners who started the race in the softs. They are already pushing these tires after 12 laps. So what do you think, guys? When's the ideal? Who's going to drop first?
Yeah, and there we go, lap 12. Yeah, Nick, I think you've called it. I'm just watching Yaku. It looks like he's fighting back here. No, Manig is still ahead of him.
Ooh, Killer Bean spins out, and that is a DNF, I think it looks like, for Killer Bean.
Looks like he's kept it going,
but
no,
he's kept it going. Yeah, he's lost his front wing. Apologies, he hit the wall quite hard. I thought he might have DNF, but he's kept the car running. Well done there, Killer Bean.
Yeah, pretty lucky, I think, on some damage. That could have been the end of the race. Yeah, but he's got to pit anyway, I guess. Hard to the end, maybe. Hope for
Just
other
gonna cost him a
incidents.
few seconds, unfortunately, but it's better than losing it completely, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's a very tight battle. A long train of cars over there, so I think it's just been a bit tricky for guys to keep. It's a lot of pressure lap after lap. Watching Red Fury now, he's behind Gerard Botha, 2 tenths, and he's about to get DRS, so this is not going to stay the same for 6th and 7th at the moment. But Regan has got no ERS left. Actually, neither does Gerard, and he does stick it on the inside. Gerard goes a bit wide, but they get through there cleanly enough. And
Gerard
I think
not
it's
looking like he might have a little go back at Red Fury.
Yeah,
Ooh. Very tight through there. I think GJ Botha knew just to back off a little bit there. Otherwise, he might have been in trouble with a bit of a collision.
Yeah, and that's allowed Manu to get pretty close, so Gerard's going to have a bit more action behind him shortly
And
if he doesn't get a
Yaku, come
move
on, Yaku in the Renault. Let's go, my boy. We need points here, Yaku. Sorry, I'm not allowed to be biased, but I'm a stand-in tonight, so it's okay.
Someone pitting, that's Gerard Botha. He dumps into the pits.
Also, Torment getting very close to Yaku Nachel and Manu Dixis as well. It's quite a battle going on for 7th place at the moment.
Alright, so here you're now just coming out of the pits.
Just watching Torment and Yaku as well, they're fighting it out.
The guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching Abilach as...
At the moment.
there we go, yep, Bob into the pits.
So, I see Barry takes provisional lead there with his mediums as the guys start to pit on the softs.
Yeah, Josh for mediums, Grim for mediums.
Avilach nearly losing it there out of turn 1, but he caught it nicely.
Yeah, nice change of faces up front. Barry's still on the right tire, we believe. He should go all the way to lap 16, 17 maybe. Maybe brand new softs at the end for him. If he can make this work, maybe the safety car helped him extend that stint one. Other than that, Red Fury, he is in third, hasn't stopped. Manu stopped, he hasn't stopped. Torment, Yaku, and then Josh and Grim. They did pit, they are in 7th and 8th at the moment. Titus in 9th, he's fought a bit from the front. Bob, he's also pitted, he was running third. We'll see where that plays out after pit stops. Then Gerard Botha, he's pitted, he's now 11th, just outside of the points. He may not have to stop again, so this might mean something later.
This train is heating up here with Josh and Yaku and Grum.
Guys, I'm getting quite a bit of echo. Is that something on my side?
Yeah, I'm also hearing echo. We'll try and figure that out now. We'll check now if you can still hear it, Nick.
Yeah, I've still got it quite badly. Maybe I should leave the party and rejoin. I've got it quite severely.
Yeah, I can also hear it. We'll just play with something on our side. We think we know what it is. Just give us a second.
No problem. Thank you.
Maybe Nick, take us through penalties. I see quite a few guys racking them up.
Yeah, we just go through the penalties. So yeah, Barry's in the lead there with the mediums, still on from lap one. He's on 5 second penalties, followed by Red Fury, who's got a whack of 6 seconds to add on to his time at the end. Josh running in third, who's got a 3 second penalty. Grimjaw and Torment are penalty-less, which is good running from them halfway through the race. Yaku Nachel got 5 seconds, Titus with 3, Avila to 6, and Warlock with 3 seconds. Manu Dietrich, nothing. Killer Bean, nothing. And that is it, guys. So, yeah, majority of the grid picking up quite a few penalties here, so the things will switch around after the checkered flag, it seems.
Guys, can you just tell me if the audio is
Much better. Thank you.
Now we know what the problem was.
There we go. Thanks for the sound check, Nick. Glad we found it. Henry also on the stream saying it's echoing. Thanks, guys. We hope that's resolved now. Any battles worth watching? Let's go back to Josh. He's currently third, but he is closing in on Red Fury. On much newer tires. Barry's 10 seconds up the road from them, so Barry's still in a very interesting fight here. Josh does go past. Grim will now hope to get past him in the next DRS zone, because he would want to stick with Josh. He'd want to be there ready to pounce, maybe get into a battle with Josh later. We'd love to see that. Yeah, Grim does get past Josh now, so I beg your pardon, past Red Fury. So the net race leaders are second and third at the moment. I'm just looking at guys who haven't stopped. It is really only Barry's and Yaku who haven't. Some of the other guys did stop earlier with the safety cars and a few damage in lap 1. Yeah, I'm just watching Yaku Nachel now. He is 0.3 of a second, make that a half a second now behind Torment. He's got DRS as they start lap 19. And Yaku will get 2 more DRS zones coming up if he can get the drive out of the corner. But he's got older tyres than Torment, so he's doing a good job to stay behind Torment. It'll be a different job, I think, to pass him. They both have similar ERS, so Torment does have something to defend, I think.
We're getting quite tight there.
Yeah, it's getting very close. Yaku really pushing now against Torment.
It's nice racing here though, keeping it nice and respectful. Yaku playing it quite patiently here, waiting for the right time to strike. Probably going to look at it for the next DRS zone. And save his ERS for the next run and it past the pit straight. Well, he dips into the pits. Oh, let's have a look at those tires quickly. I'm just going to go through the tires. Yeah, so Yaku pits on those 19 laps he's been on those mediums, which is a great run to stick in 7th on such old tires. He's serving a penalty as well in the pits. So he'll have to sit there and wait patiently while he gets some new rubber. And it looks like he's hitting a pair, so it's going to be brave. Do you
what
think
I
he's
like
going to get
about
16 laps in, guys?
Yeah, what I like that about Yaku, he's made the medium soft one-stopper work. I think he served the 5-second penalty, but he also, this will still be an undercut, so a lot of that penalty he'll make up in having a newer, faster tire. So maybe that's not a bad call.
Not a bad strategy at all. Yeah, those tires are going to be worn by lap 36, but if he can get there, that's a great strategy. He really looks at GJ Buerta and has a go at him down the whatever straight this is called.
Schnitzel straight, we decided earlier.
The Schnitzel straight, just before the sausage curbs, that's correct.
There we go. Yaku does go past. Gerard relegated to 11th. Warlock just behind them as well. And Yaku is now looking at Titus in front already on these soft tires. He'll have to try and make something work immediately. Titus is on mediums. They are brand new mediums. But Yaku is in the points. He looks like he's hungry for more though. So maybe this is not a bad place to look for a battle.
So guys, our race leader at the moment, Paris, 20 laps on mediums. He's going to look to really push those mediums. When are we going to expect him in? Is he going to try and pull what Yaku's pulling at the moment and hit a pair of softs to take him to the end?
I reckon within the next few laps he will definitely jump in. I will definitely predict he will jump in on the softs.
Well, there is commentator's curse.
He just jumped in.
There he comes in for his pit. So that should put him down to, I mean, I'm not sure exactly about the pit timings here. I'm assuming he'll come around 4th or 5th. He should come out around there. Maybe a bit lower. Yeah.
What's this, serving a penalty now?
Oh, that's not going to help him in the pits at the moment. No, but he will be on a nice pair of softs.
Oh, and Yaku is retired.
Ooh, Yaku. What happened to Yaku here?
We'll follow Killer Bean around the track, Ron.
Yeah, I can't see. I was on board with Killer Bean, but we couldn't see Yaku. That's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
Henry can maybe tell us what happened. But it's a full safety car. Unfortunately for Burries, if he pitted a lap later, that would have worked perfectly. Killer B now jumps in, may as well get new tires, mediums maybe to the end, softs to the end for Killer Bean.
Yeah, I think so. I see Red Fury is still on 19 laps as well on his medium, so I'm sure he'll pit under the safety car. Looking at those old tires, he's been running basically the whole race on those.
Yeah, this has worked well for Red Fury. I don't know if he will hold on to third, but he might come out 4th, 5th, 6th.
Yeah, it looks like he could between 5th and 6th potentially, which is not a bad outcome for him at the moment.
Yeah, well done, Regan. This has worked out perfectly. Yeah, Burries might be annoyed if his teammate comes out, or not his teammate, if Red Fury comes out ahead of him. We'll see where that goes. Bob goes through, so Bob is third, as he was before pit stop. Burries does go through, nice for Burries. And he's going to get right close up, off behind the safety car to the leaders. So that is nice. Red Fury looks like he has come out in 5th, that is right.
Good move there.
Behind him, Torment. Behind that is Avilach, who also pitted for the softs. So Avilach as well, 7th on brand new softs. What makes this interesting is the top 3 is Josh, Grim and Bob. They needed to hold on to track position, but they're on 7-lap-old mediums. And behind them, it's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th on softs. Yes, we are going to see action. Titus on 2-lap-old mediums, I beg your pardon, in 8th. Those are still definitely good to the end of the race. He's got 0 time management. He can push nicely as well. Manu in 9th is going to give him a go on soft as well. And then everybody else, here, Warlock, Killer Bean, they've all decided to pit. They probably only had new mediums left, so that's why that existed.
So yeah, guys, it's going to be a hell of an exciting restart, hopefully. We've got the safety car obviously brings the pack together. Unlapped cars can lap the safety car and get themselves unlapped. Groups the pack back up together. Safety car goes in. Lights go out. The leader can kind of lead the pack away. As he crosses the line, it's races back on. And we have a very tight pack here at the moment. So we will see a very exciting restart, I'm sure, for the last 10 laps of this race.
Yeah, I see the guys who are still a bit behind. That's from Manu, everyone down. They will catch them on the next straight. So I'm almost sure safety car might be in this lap, but I think Killer Bean is about 8-9 seconds behind the pack, but he will catch them while the guys are under the safety car. So yeah, quite the interesting finish, right? 12 laps, and except for the front 3, who are on 8-lap-old mediums, everybody else on brand new tires.
Yeah, looking quite interesting. As you say, the top 3 front runners were trying to keep track position, which obviously they need to do. I see Yaku Narkle has joined the stream, but he is DNF'd, unfortunately. So yeah, the guys behind on fresh tyres, they're going to be a lot quicker. And let's see what they can do with that tyre advantage going up to turn one. I think Barry's could be potentially a dark horse. He was looking very racy on the mediums. He's chasing some guys in the front with older tyres, and he's got a fresh pair of softs till the end. So let's watch him. I think Avilach also one to watch. I think he can make up a couple places. So yeah, I think there's a lot of racy guys here. So it's going to be a little bit mixed up, and also there's a lot of penalties, guys.
Yeah, there we go. It's about to restart. Nixon's used him to be the restart specialist. Safety car is in. Josh is leading the pack.
Let's
still warming his tires.
Josh. So he's still warming his. He's going to play the field here and take his time. He hits the floor now, hits the pedal, running. We've got Grimjaw chasing after him. I think Grimjaw got a little bit of wind of Josh's last restart, so he knows what Josh is doing here. Bob is keeping a close eye on them. Barry's trying to keep in the top three lead here, trying to look for a podium tonight. Red Fury getting very racy on Barry's, looking up the inside here. Ooh, little bit of contact there between Red Fury and Bob, it seems. I think there. I hope there's no front plate damage as Red Fury looks up the side of Barry's. It's wheel to wheel as we go into turn 4, turn 5 of Austria. Ooh, and the horse braking later, looking at the tire advantage there, and makes up the place into 4th. Let's look a little bit down the field. Avilach looking quite racy as well. There's a little battle here for 5th going on. Torment and Barry's are swapping places. Avilach's getting stuck in now as well. He's looking up the inside of Barry's. I'm sure he's getting stream. And Avilach will, I'm sure, make the play through the outside. Has to run a bit wide. Out front. The guys are running away a little bit, the top 3. From the rest of the field already after one lap of a restart. Killer Bean making a move on Warlock for 9th. Makes it stick, I think, through the uphill.
Oh, and that's bad luck for Paris there. Dropping down to 11th.
Yeah, Gerard Buerta also had to pit, so not quite sure what happened to these gents. Well, I think Barry's, we saw he was fighting with Red Fury. Gerard, not sure. I'm going to head back up to the leader, Josh. He is not quite getting away, but he might get out of DRS pretty soon. Behind him, Grimjaw. Behind him, Bob. Just watching Avilach in 6th. In front of him is Torment and Red Fury. Behind him is Manu. This is the closest battle on track.
Very close.
Torment having a nice look at Red Fury, trying to get out of the slipstream, get off the racing line, and not allow Torment to get behind him. This is a great battle for 4th here at the moment, guys.
Torment looks around, Red Fury there, going on the inside.
Sure, Torment takes it with a lot of ERS help.
Done. Red Fury.
Oh, not a very good exit. Red Fury takes it right back. Thank you, I'll have that back.
And Manu, we've lost Manu.
Ooh, Manu's virtual safety car. Torment, by the way, has gone into the back of Red Fury and lost a wing in that battle. We can see our end plate missing on the right hand side of Torment. That is unlucky. He may have to try jumping. I don't know, not many laps left. And we're not sure where we lost Manu.
Manu's at the top of turn 3, guys. He is lying on the left hand side there. It looks like he lost it into the wall.
So
bad luck, Manu.
Buddies does get back into the points.
Looks like
another
Torment's
set of
also
softs.
sitting at the moment, guys. That's going to not be very nice for Torment running in 5th at the moment. He's into the pits.
And we go again. Red Fury right behind Bob. And DRS is opened immediately after a virtual safety car. Red Fury does not have a look. He is missing an end plate, so if Bob can just get these mediums to work, he should be able to keep Red Fury behind him.
Red Fury might have a run here.
Looks like it.
Bob defending nicely, getting into the middle of the track.
Well done, Bob. I think Bob put him off. I think he positioned that Mercedes beautifully there.
Great racing here for the last podium spot. And let's not rule out Abilak, who's looking quite racy as well. Down the road we have Titus.
His Red Bull is working quite well.
Oh yeah, he's got those tires switched on now. I think he's going to start challenging the guys now for a potential podium. We must keep in mind our penalties. Red Fury sitting on 9, which might affect his race quite heavily. And Josh, guys, Josh in the lead has got him sitting on 6-second penalties.
Yeah, that's going to mean something later.
Yeah, that's not really. Grimjaw's within a second and a half. Oh, Avilak getting very close to Red Fury.
Purple sector 1 for Avilak.
Oof. That was too close for comfort.
Way too close.
And Red Fury is past Bob despite his wing damage, but Red Fury 9-second penalty, so a lot of guys, Bob, Avilak, Titus, Killer Bean, Warlock, they must all just stay where they are. They can make up places at the end of this race, which is in 7 laps time.
Didn't fight as hard as he might have, not knowing a penalty situation. Sometimes it's better to let the damage go by and let the penalty run its course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and Avalak's off into the wall.
Ooh, big crash. He's held it though. He's got the car back. Oh, he's retired from the session. Unfortunate there for the Red Bull driver. Anybody have a watch board? I just saw the end of it.
Yeah, I was on board with him. He lost it into the last.
Oh, that's unfortunate. He was looking very racy. And we lose another driver.
Yeah, drivers we've lost. It's Avilak, we just saw that, then Manu Dietrich, then Yaku Nachel and Eugene. Only 10 drivers left. Everyone gets a point. It's a bit of an Oprah moment in there. You get a point, you get a point, everybody's getting a point.
That's it. Yeah, and we can use these points for World Championship points. It's a close battle in Tier 1, so every point counts. It's still a long season ahead. So let's see who can slot in for the last point places here. We've got Josh up front with a 6-second penalty, so that's going to affect him quite badly. That should slot him only into second, it looks like, for now, as he is only running about 7 or 8 seconds ahead of Red Fury. But Grimjaw needs to keep that gap under 6 seconds. Obviously, it's 2 for now, and he can take the lead of this race at the flag. Also, we've got some tight racing going on between 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the moment. Red Fury leading the pack of the podium. Bob looking very racy. Yep.
With a hell of a speed.
Titus carrying way too much speed. They're nearly taking out the pair of them.
Yes.
But yeah, I managed to avoid it there.
And Killer B now having a look at Titus. Obviously, Titus went too deep into the corner. I'll tell you what, Nick, when you get it wrong, your braking zone, and you're flying and trying to avoid a driver, that is, those are heart attack moments.
It happens to all of us. You're concentrating for lap after lap after lap, trying to keep your tires in the right place, trying to still keep the pace, trying to fight, trying to stay in some slipstreams. So yeah, these things do happen. He's very nice to avoid that collision there by just braking or kind of not turning in as much as he would have had to avoid that collision. It looks like Bob is getting very racy on Red Fury at the moment. He might even make the stick up here. He might be. Oh, he does make it stick around the outside. Great racing from Bob in the Mercedes-Benz.
And he gets DRS.
Looks like Red Fury is not going to let him go too easily. But yeah, the DRS is definitely helping him out as he clips a little bit of grass. For good measure. So Red Fury on the quicker tire with some DRS. Maybe he can have a little look back at Bob. Otherwise, he might find himself with Bob and the Mercedes-Benz moving quite quickly up the road.
Yeah, no, Warlock and Killer Bean having a fight. Warlock comes out on top. He is now 6th, Killer Bean 7th. That is the battle for 6th and 7th. They're not far behind this battle of Titus, Red Fury, Bob. Everyone has got a chance for a podium. Yeah, it seems a long train of cars. Henry on the stream, she says, now that's what you call a crash course here on the Austria track.
Yeah, emphasis on the crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely.
This train of Warlock, Titus, Red Fury.
Yeah, Warlock is looking racy. He is catching Titus. Titus does have DRS, and Titus is fighting Red Fury as well. Not a lot of space. Oh, Warlock loses a wing. End plate, I think.
Yeah, I think that actually could be a half a wing gone there, unfortunately for Warlock. Looking, 3 cars don't go into one, unfortunately, as Titus and Red Fury continue the battle up ahead of him. Red Fury looking at the back of Titus, wanting to make the move. Red Fury knowing he's got a lot of penalties to make up. He wants to get as far ahead as he can from the rest of the pack.
Killer Bean now making the move on Warlock, obviously, with the damage.
Yeah, that's not going to be a nice one for Warlock. Only looking for 3 laps left. Killer Bean will make the stick as he comes up the inside. He can take the pit entry line. He knows no one's in front of him. So a great move there from Killer Bean. Making up into 6th place, which is not 6th place on merit. He will move up places with Red Fury's 9-second penalty. But we'll get into the maths of this on lap 36, guys.
Yeah.
Let Codemasters potentially do it for us.
Yeah, Codemasters unfortunately do it for us.
But Grimjaw really leading the race for us, guys. Grimjaw in the lead, at the moment, not looking like Josh is going to be able to pull that 6 seconds away from Grimjaw. And Bob, without penalties, the only driver running at the moment. No, Grimjaw and Bob running with no penalties at the moment. So nicely done, gentlemen. Clean racing, keeping it within the lines. So yeah, going to be quite close at the end. Let's see who can pull those gaps.
I'll tell you what, even Bob, he's 8 seconds behind Josh. If he had anything, he's got to throw it now, but it's only about a lap to go, so I think Josh might still hold on to second. But yeah, kudos to Grim. He's kept it quick. 1 lap to go, and he's looking like a victory is in the cards here. Bob, he had to fight for it a bit. His teammate Titus is catching him as well, although Titus does have penalties. But nice drive by Bob, well deserved, I think, for podium. Titus, he started, let me show position change, because Titus started, where did he start? 9 positions up on the race. So he went from 13th to 4th. Very nice, Titus. Penalties might play a role here, so we'll see what that does. As Nick says, we'll let Codemasters do the maths for us. And then Killer Bean going along nicely. We saw him pitting earlier for all sorts of things, but he's stuck in that. The safety cars have helped him, and he's fought his way to 5th. That is good points.
I see he's under a lot of pressure at the moment, actually, from Red Fury, trying to make a couple moves stick at the moment. Red Fury getting quite close to Killer Bean at the moment, looking to make a move on him.
Red Fury's got the in-plate damage.
He was gaining. He's dropped back quite a bit now.
Yeah, sector 2 and 3 are just going to be so hard with wing damage. So Killer Bean looks like he's holding on to 5th. I think either way, Red Fury now 12-second penalties. That's going to cost him towards the end. Warlock looking nice in 7th. Barry's, he's making points out of this. He might still get
and
7th or 6th after.
To make the move stick on track potentially for 3rd.
Yeah, Titus would lose it anyway due to penalties, but why not battle for the glory of finishing on track anyway?
It's bragging rights amongst the gentlemen. Back at the paddock, the guys say, I always crossed the line in front of you. Just you saw the back of the car. But essentially, the penalties will come into play, and the guys who have kept it within the lines and played by the rules will reap the rewards.
There we go. We're watching Josh last few corners on track. You will cross the line first. Look good in quali, look good in race pace, but unfortunately a couple of penalties. And now we watch Grimjaw, who goes first. Well done, Grim.
Great racing, guys.
Sean will just invite those guys to the lobby. That's Grimjaw, Josh, and Bob. That's our podium for tonight. Killer Bean, I'll tell you what, with no penalties, he goes 4th. That is good points from there. Very well done, Ronald. Titus 5th. We saw that almost from the back to 5th. Very nice. Hard to call a driver of the day, I think, between Killerbean and Titus. And then Burries, we saw him start at 4th on the right tyre. He's had a battle and had to pit unexpectedly towards the end, but still 6th. That is still points. Red Fury, he finishes in 7th after having some battle scars and a missing end plate. There we go. We're just trying to get the podium sitters on to the stream, into the comms box, so we can chat to them and ask them about their race. There we see Grim, Josh and Bob. I think these 3 guys practice together a lot as well. All 3 super quick out on track tonight. There we go. I think I took us through all the way to 7th. Warlock, he managed 8th in the end. Torment to 9th. And then Gerard Buerta in 10th. Avilach, unfortunately, we saw him crash out. These are the guys who didn't finish. Avilach, Manu, Yaku and Eugene. And let's just see.
Burries with the fastest lap, 105.5, which is great race pace from Burries. Picks up the extra point for that.
Big up, Burries. And we've got the podium guys into the comms box. Well done, Grim, for the win. Is Grim with us yet? He's not with us yet. Let's start with Bob. Bob, that's a very nice podium. You had to fight for it towards the end. Hey, how's it, man?
How's it, Bob?
Yeah, no, buddy, you claim it, eh? That's a podium. I think it was pretty much a podium on merit. Yeah, unfortunately, Burries had to pit, so I think he finished there as well towards the end with your teammate Titus, with Red Fury. Yeah, P4 from 14th, so I think for me, one of the drivers of the day, definitely. And then Josh, well done, 2nd place. Penalties was the difference tonight. It looked like you and Grim were matching each other out on track.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not the best on this track with penalties. If only I could keep it clean, I would have won. I tried to pull a 30-second gap on the last few laps in order, just in case you got the penalty. I think I managed to do that, but he didn't, because I'm just way too clean to get the penalty. But yeah, well done to him, and yeah.
Yeah, no, well done. Anyway, Josh, a great pace out there and avoiding a lot of the issues we saw other guys have. Unfortunate about the penalties. And then Trevor Grimjaw, long race, but I think maybe you realized at some point that the penalties were going to play in your hands.
Yeah, man. I actually realized when when Josh got the first 3-second penalty. That's when I was like, you know what, let me just manage it, because it's very, very easy to get penalties on this track. Because I was already sitting on, I think, 2 warnings. So I was like, you know what, let me just keep it clean.
No, why didn't you get another warning? Yes.
No, man. I just kept doing it track. I was like, no, I'll let you run there in front of me, but because when I get too close to you, it just messes up my front. I just cannot turn properly. So I just kept that distance so that I could just manage that. But unlucky on the penalties, because you actually had me on this race. Eh?
And tell us, Grim, what happened there. Tell us, Grim, Q3 quali, looks like you barely got a lap together. Eventually, you got one in, and it was good enough, I think, for 3rd.
Yeah, man, I invalidated like on the last corner, just barely, and like, you know what, I just need to get a lap in. Even if I start 3rd, I was thinking if I start 3rd, I'll be fine. And it's a good thing I started there, because unfortunately Eugene, he spun out in front of me. He almost took me out with him when that happened.
Did you see what happened? Did you just lose the rear? We didn't really see it.
Yeah, the back end, he had a tank slapper. And then
Did that affect other cars as well? Because we saw a couple of other cars DNF around the same time. Did he make contact with anybody else? Because the
way it happened, he had the tank slap and then he went straight into the barriers. And then I'm pretty sure a few other guys went off track, and then that's when all the drama happened.
Okay. Yeah, well, it looked like drama out on track there, but well done to you guys. It was great racing out front. Other than the penalties, it looked like you guys were pretty closely matched for pace. So well done, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Well done to our top three, Grim, George, Josh, and Bob. And then thanks for Nick, Sean, for joining us here in the comms box tonight. That's it from us here. Tier 1 in Austria, we've got a week's break, and then in 2 weeks' time, we go to Silverstone, where the battle continues. Thank you, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.
Ciao, ciao.